Hey there, smart garden community. Welcome back to another episode where we dive deep into the secrets that'll transform your gardening experience. Today, we're tackling something that frustrates gardeners everywhere: slow compost. You know that feeling, right? You're excited about creating your own black gold for the garden, but weeks turn into months, and your pile just sits there, seemingly unchanged. But what if I told you the secret to dramatically speeding up your compost is probably sitting in your kitchen pantry right now? Stick with me, because we're about to unlock a composting revelation that'll have you producing rich, finished compost faster than you ever thought possible. The composting conundrum. Why is it so slow? Let's be honest, traditional composting can test anyone's patience. You've followed the rules, layered your greens and browns, kept things moist, and yet your pile takes 4 to 6 months or even longer to break down into usable compost. The natural decomposition process, while miraculous, happens at nature's pace, not ours. What's actually happening in that pile is an intricate dance of microorganisms, bacteria, fungi, and other decomposers, working to break down organic matter. These tiny workers need the right conditions to thrive, and when something's missing from their environment, they slow down dramatically. Most gardeners focus on the basics like moisture and turning the pile, but there's a missing ingredient that acts as rocket fuel for these beneficial microbes, and it's been hiding in plain sight all along. Here's where things get exciting. Simple sugars are the game changer you've been missing. Now, before you think this sounds too good to be true, let me explain the science behind this surprising solution. The microorganisms responsible for decomposition need energy to multiply and work efficiently, just like we need food to fuel our bodies. While they eventually break down the complex organic materials in your compost pile, they require readily available carbohydrates to jumpstart their population explosion. Think of sugar as the ignition key that starts the engine. When you introduce simple sugars like molasses or even plain white sugar mixed with water, you're providing an immediate, easily digestible energy source that allows microbes to multiply exponentially within days, rather than weeks. This population boom means more workers breaking down your compost materials simultaneously, which translates directly into faster decomposition. The transformation is genuinely remarkable. Piles that would typically take months can produce finished compost in as little as 4 to 8 weeks with this method properly applied. Let's get practical about implementing this sugar strategy in your compost system. So, honestly, the best sugars to use are unsulfured molasses or just plain white sugar, though molasses has the added benefit of containing trace minerals that further feed your microbial army. It's really important to avoid anything with additives or artificial sweeteners, which can actually harm beneficial organisms. For a standard 3x3 foot compost pile, you'll want to mix about 1 cup of molasses or sugar into a gallon of water. As you're building a new pile or refreshing an existing one, go ahead and sprinkle this sugar solution between layers of your compost materials, making sure you get an even distribution throughout. You're not trying to drown the pile. Think of it more as a light watering with your sugar mixture. For existing piles, just poke holes throughout the pile with a garden stake or an aerator tool, then pour the sugar solution into these channels, allowing it to really permeate the layers. Apply this treatment when you first build your pile, and then again about 2 to 3 weeks later if decomposition seems to be slowing down. While sugar provides that crucial energy boost, it honestly works best as part of a 3-pronged strategy. Airflow is absolutely critical because composting is an aerobic process. Your microbes need oxygen to survive and thrive. Without adequate air circulation, you'll end up creating anaerobic conditions that produce foul odors and really slow everything down. So, you'll want to turn your pile vigorously every 3 to 5 days, especially during those first few weeks when microbial activity is really at its peak. Use a pitchfork or a compost aerator to lift and mix materials from the bottom to the top, and from the edges right into the center. This turning not only introduces oxygen, but it also helps redistribute moisture and heat evenly throughout the pile. Plus, you should incorporate coarse materials like wood chips, straw, or even shredded cardboard. since these create air pockets and prevent the pile from getting too compacted. The second essential element here is maintaining that magical balance between nitrogen-rich greens and carbon-rich browns. Your microbes need both: protein for growth, which they get from greens like fresh grass, clippings, vegetable scraps, and coffee grounds, and energy for sustaining their activity, which comes from browns like dead leaves, cardboard, and straw. Aim for roughly 2 to 3 times more browns than greens by volume, which approximates the ideal carbon-to-nitrogen ratio of about 25:1. When you combine this proper balance with regular turning and that initial sugar boost, you create the perfect storm of composting conditions. The pile heats up quickly, often reaching temperatures between 130 and 150 degrees Fahrenheit, which not only speeds decomposition but also kills weed seeds and pathogens. Here's something that surprises most gardeners: using sugar strategically actually reduces odor problems rather than creating them. When microbial populations explode and work efficiently, they process materials so quickly that putrefaction, the source of bad smells, never gets a chance to develop. The rapid decomposition also produces finished compost with superior structure and nutrient content. You'll notice your finished product is darker, richer, and has better moisture retention properties. The cost effectiveness is another massive advantage. A bottle of molasses costs just a few dollars and can treat multiple compost piles over an entire season. So there you have it, Smart Garden Family, the sugar secret that transforms composting from a waiting game into an exciting, rapid process. By combining simple sugars with proper aeration and balanced materials, you're creating the ideal environment for microbial magic. Start implementing this method today, and I guarantee you'll be amazed at how quickly your organic waste transforms into nutrient-rich compost that'll supercharge your garden beds. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell so you never miss our gardening hacks. Share this video with fellow gardeners who are tired of waiting months for finished compost, and drop a comment below telling us about your results. Happy composting, and remember, great gardens start with great soil.